Hey there guys, and welcome to GRL Season 3. This is GP2 for this evening. That's the 9 o'clock start here at R16 here at for the Russian Grand Prix. This is its full 17, and unfortunately I am on my own, so I'll do my best to try and keep up with the pack. So we'll get the points up. We do not have Top Gunner currently with us, so that means he will be staying at 165. But the points of the Drivers' Championship are as follows. After the events of the Singapore Grand Prix, Paraquix is still holding the lead of the Drivers' Championship at 247, with Top Gunner being 82 points behind him, but Top Gunner is not currently here. So that does mean that the gap between Para and Gunner will increase. Meanwhile, Chill is got on 144, with Smithy very close behind him with 142. AMG Kosher's on 131, with discreetly being 25 points behind him, with the other fellow Ferrari for Paraquix. Lovely Colt is on 106 as well, with discreetly being 25 points separated between two of them drivers, with AMG Kosher on 131. Old Banzi is on 79, with Horn Dog on 48, being 31 points separated between the two Renault-engined Formula 1 cars. Superb Cam is on 33 points for the Force India team, with Dutch Nacho only 12 points behind him in the other McLaren. F1 Pal, with having a good debut at the Singapore Grand Prix and taking 4th place, will get him on to only being 9 points between Dutch and Pal. We don't have Chalky with us either, and no Monster Skyline and Cody. So that does mean, so now we go on to the Constructors, which becomes a little bit more interesting. Scuderia Ferrari is on 353 points, with Williams Martini being 44 points behind the Prancing Horses. Renault F1 is on 231, with Force India on 213. Meanwhile, McLaren is trying to follow suit, with Force India only being 61 points behind the Force India team. Toro Rosso Honda is on 144, only being 38 points behind the Papaya Orange McLaren. Whilst Red Bull is on 52 points, still struggling to get themselves out of the top 10 or even finish. And we have Alfa Romeo Sauber on 43, only being 9 points of the other compatriot Formula 1 car of the Red Bull, and Mercedes on 40, only being 3 points behind Sauber. So we do have Smithy going to be starting on his first lap of the session of Q2. Smithy, being part of the train at the Singapore Grand Prix, is hoping to continue with the performance that he had from last week's race onto this week's race. Despite the rivalry between him and Chill is actually hotting up even more. Only 2 points are separated between the two. Smithy is currently on the soft tyres, and Chill his rival on the ultra soft tyres. While the other Renault-powered car, the Red Bull, Warndog, is currently on the soft tyres, whereas his teammate, UK Exchanges, another bit of a returning face, is on the ultras. So Smithy now goes up to the last two corners to the end of his flying lap. Goes on to the last corner, takes a very good neat line, and starts off with a banker lap of a 1 minute 33.976. While discreetly is improved by that by 1.6 seconds with a 1 minute 32.3. Well, he's on the hypers. Have a look at Paraquicks, currently the Drivers' Championship leader. Crosses along with 1:32.8. Only half a second separates between the two teammates. While Raven crosses along with a 1:35.0. Well, that does mean that could possibly be meaning that he's done a banker lap. Meanwhile, as we go on to Chill, which looks like he has made a little slight error. Meanwhile, Mansley crosses the line and takes the net P3, only being 3/10 behind the Drivers' Championship leader with a 1:33.177. Warndog crosses the line with a 1:34.793. Only 8/10 shy of Smithy's 1:33. Actually, speaking of which, Smithy does improve on the 1:33.3. 2/10 separated between those two. Meanwhile, UK Exchanges does a 1:32.6. So it does break the Prancing Horses threshold, being only 3/10 behind discreetly. 2/10 ahead of Para. On to Chill, now onto the technical side of the third sector. Using the body roll to transition from corner to corner perfectly. Now goes on to the last two corners. Onto the final corner. Very, very neat. And crosses along with a 1:32.1. Less than 2/10 faster than Discreetly. And Discreetly's on a softer compound than Chill. We now look at Superb Cam. Superb Cam lately has been struggling with technical problems with his car in the past few races. I think one was in Singapore as well. A few minor technical problems, but he is hoping to bounce back from that spell. And here at Russia, there he is. Look, warming up his ultra soft tyres. Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho on the other side of the spectrum is going to be starting on his fly lap on the hyper softs. As he now approaches onto the 90-degree right, braking super hard, taking it in fourth. Now to the other 90-degree right. It's beautifully done. Now coming up to the fast double left. Almost misses the apex by just a couple of feet. Now he's going on to the third sector, working very, very hard now. That's a very good line out of that section. Now onto the off-cambered section. There's a very slight, small incline on the apex, which makes the car kind of push wide if you don't hit it right. Starts naturally across the line and takes P4 with a 132.7. Drops Para down to P5. Now go on to Superb Cam. Currently on the Ultras. Runs the line with a 131.8, which is now the new fastest lap of this session. I think he is going to be very, very happy with that performance. It's a 131.8. We are going to be losing 3 drivers. It is though, as we are now 5 minutes away to the end of Q2. So this is who will come out on top. Lovely Colt now starts his flying lap on the Hypersofts. As we look onto the telemetry. Doing 209 and braking super hard. Takes the optimal turn 2 quite cleanly. Now coming up onto turn 5 on the second sector. The corner is quite likely to push the car very wide. On some occasions, Lovely Colt misses the apex. Almost exactly the same as of Chill. No, of Dutch, actually. And Lovely Colt is going to be barraging his way to the third sector, braking nice and hard. Was to straighten his car up, try and avoid the invalidation. Meanwhile, Paraquix has gone quicker with a 131.9. Now closes that gap between him and Cam by 1 1/3 tenth. Meanwhile, Lovely Colt is going to be now onto the last corner, going full on the throttle and beats Para by 4 thousandths. Now have a look at AMG Kosher, Discreetly and Raven have retired from in the pits, so they are contemplating and guessing that they're going to be safe. And at the moment it does look like that Smithy, Horn and Kosher are trying to set some faster times. Chill is the next driver to retire from the pits. Meanwhile, Kosher is going to be crossing the line and takes P10 off of Smithy. Only 15 thousandths of an improvement. And Smithy onto the transition section. And now coming up onto the last 2 corners. You can see him trying to wrestle the car. When he crosses the line and takes P8 with a 132.7. Now drops Kosher down to P11. F1 Pal and Manzi are now on their outlaps. 30 seconds to go of Q2. MG Kosher is destined to try and go quicker. His horn now crosses the line. Does not improve, but could be a possibility that this will be his last attempt. Meanwhile, AMG Kosher has backed off, so he knows for sure that he won't be able to improve on his time, so he'll be knocked out of Q2. Meanwhile, F1 Pal will be starting his first and last fly lap of Q2 on the Hypers. So we see Horn is actually improved by 1.5 tenths. As he goes super wide on the exit of turn 5. And now onto turn 7. Now coming up onto turns 8 and 9. Completely misses the apex. Which is now putting him on the back foot now. Smithy goes fastest and takes P2 with a 1:31.9. So that is it. AMG Kosher will be knocked out of Q2. Question is, there is who else will be following with him. As Horn now comes up onto the last corner, goes super hot and jumps Kosher, but goes into P11. The question is, can Pal beat a 1:33.1 on the Hypersofts? As he tries to jostle the car to make it turn properly and goes fastest with a 1:31.8. And that means Manzi will be knocked out. I do think that AMG Kosher will be very disappointed with the performance that he had in Q2. He tried his very best to try and push the car as hard as possible. It doesn't look like it was working for him as much. I think F1 Pal will be very, very happy with the performance that he has at the end of Q2. But will his idea of starting on the Hypers work for him? Looks like we are going to find out as we go on to Q3. So, the end of Q2. F1 Pal will be starting on the Hypers with Superb Cam and Smithy. On the top 3 will be starting on the Ultras. Lovely Colt Paraquicks are going to be starting on the Hypers, whereas Chill's going to be starting on the Ultras in with P6 in Q2. Discreetly is going to be starting on the Hypers, whereas Raven and Gingers are going to be starting on the Ultras, the same as Smithy, Cam and Chill. Whilst Dutch are the last drivers to go through in Q3 on the Hypers. Meanwhile, Manzi, Horn and Kosher are knocked out. So, as Q3 is now started, we do have one Red Bull, one Renault, one McLaren in Q3. And it does look like that Pal is going to be out first. Again, with F1 Pal, is hoping to continue with the performance that he had in Singapore by taking P4. And also to take 12 points for the Force India team. Meanwhile, Chill is destined to keep his performance going after having a streak of very good races with Belgium, Italy and Singapore. Whereas Smithy, despite the controversial despite the controversy with Pal at Italy, is retired from the session. But anyway, Smithy, despite the controversy at the turn 3 of Curva Grande at Italy, but bounced it back with a very good strong performance at Singapore. He's hoping to continue with the performance here at Russia, and also for the next race in Japan next week. So as F1 Pal is now coming up onto the exit of turn 3 and onto turn 4. Lost a couple of feet onto the apex there. Now onto turn 5. Slight little lock up. It's a very neat exit nonetheless. Again, another lock up. It did appear to have taken the apex a little much better on the double left. Now onto the straight, opening DRS and utilising the hot lap mode. Had to drop down to third. Fear of not braking. Oh, Pal had a slight little bit of opposite lock, and also again on the exit there. F1 Pal is now going to be finishing on his first flying lap. Onto the last corner, across the line with 132.4. I don't think he's going to be quite happy with that. Despite the fact he was trying to push the limits of the last 4 corners, it didn't seem to be paying off as much. Oh, Chill got super close to that Red Bull. Meanwhile, Lovely Colt has gone into the pits, whereas Paraquix has gone fastest with a 131.7. It's also the same as Superb Cam. Superb Cam's gone into the pits. It's now Raven in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. To the final corner. He does a 145.2, but it was invalid, so it is a banker lap. Now he's going to be restarting on his second flying lap. But it does look like he kind of invalidated it again. The approach on turn 2. As Gingers has done a 131.774. Being 1,000 separated between him and Para. Meanwhile, Raven in the Sauber looks like he's actually gone a little bit more quicker. on his previous banker lap. He just goes 12 seconds faster. So it does appear that his first lap was a banker lap. Then at all, well, for one thing, had a slight little bit of a slide. That transition section, and he's gone straight into the pits. Now I do have a co-commentator, which is Owen. And Smithy does a 1:31.774 as well. And I do have a secret suspicion that Owen's mic has been muted. Meanwhile, Chill has done a 1:31.792, 18 thousandths behind his rival of Smithy. Sound very quiet, Owen.
It's because of the microphone I'm using, it's quiet. Without all the mic monitor is full and it's
Anyway, we'll have a look on lovely Colt. Currently on to turn 5 on the second sector. Takes it beautifully done, and also a very good clean exit on turn 5.
That's first sector.
It's actually the second sector of turn 5.
Okay,
Turn 4 is the last corner of the first sector, but never mind. Meanwhile, lovely Colt is opening the DRS. Put up to the third sector. Braking nice and hard. And drops down into second gear rather than third. So he's kind of suffering a little bit onto higher gears on that corner.
Yeah, it is such a
Lovely Colt now going to be crossing the line on the last corner. Goes fastest with a 1:31.2. Half a second we found. Meanwhile, superb Cam. Braking beautifully done. Across the line it goes, does a 1:30.8.
Yeah, but those are hard to see.
Well, it is Q3.
Yeah. Let them fly.
We have a look at Dutch, who is going to be
Notifications on YouTube.
starting his flying lap of Q3. Now opens the floodgates using the Renault engine on the McLaren. Making it nice and hard, taking it into fourth, which is actually good technique for him. Taking turn 2 in fourth gear.
Not just really leads.
As F1 Pal has done a 1:31.740. It's now jumped up into P3. Meanwhile, Paraquicks, UK Gingers, Smithy and Chill are on their outlaps. Which does mean that this will be their last flying lap of this session. Depends. Depends that I do not make any mistakes, like what you said, Owen. We'll have a look at UK Gingers. But it does look like he will be getting one more attempt. As Superb Cam and Lovely Colt's now gone back into the pits, with Superb Cam getting 4/10 off of the Toro Rosso driver of Lovely Colt, and almost 9/10 off of Pal. Whereas Dutch has done a 1:31.6. Can be very happy with that. So 1 minute to go left of the session as UK Gingers go super wide. Or not turned in right, but who knows? We'll find out and see whether his laptop was invalid or valid as he now goes on to his technical section with a slight lock up there on the heavy braking point. As both Superb Cam and Lovely Colt has retired from the session in the pit lane. As UK Gingers going on to the last corner. Crosses the line, it takes P3 with a 1:31.5. So it was a good lap.
Maybe if it didn't go wide on the corner, would have got.
Oh, F1 Pal had a bit of a small tank slapper and is having another one. His hypers are gone. It's spun. And Smithy now takes P3 with a 1:31.4. As Paraquix gets a 1:31.3, but it was invalid. We'll have to start P7. Wild Chill will be starting in P8.
If he knows what it does on this one. I think he backed off.
Even we started in P9, whereas the screen is going to be starting in P10. This isn't a very good performance from the Scuderia Ferrari team. As we are now waiting for the two drivers to retire from the session.
In the front breakers.
And there we have it for Q3. So with Superb Cam again showing his dominance here in the qualifying session, he'll be starting in P on pole with a 1:30.8, with Lovely Colt being less than 4/10 behind him with a 1:31.2. Smithy though, a very good qualifying performance. Will be starting on the second row of the grid in P3 with a 1:31.4. So the 5-minute break has now begun, and the race will start at 17 minutes to 10.
Yep.
So we'll now have a look on the race director.
Those hypers are going to be shredded in this.
It does look like the 3 people that were knocked out in Q2 are going to be starting on the hypers.
They're not going to last.
It's so it's quite hypersoft heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people
If
are on the
I was,
ultras.
if I was a length down, I'd probably go on ultras. Those hypers are not last.
Well, this track is a very easy one-stop.
Yeah, it's proven, especially in GP3.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I do not want to go through that.
For the people who are currently watching this streams for GP2, if you have missed the GP3 race that was on at 7 o'clock, feel free to watch it by going on our Twitch channel, Global Racing League F1, and look for the GP3 version of the Russian Grand Prix.
Right. Yes. What are we gonna choose? What are we gonna choose a little bit? Oh.
So who do you think will take the top 3 at the end of this race?
It's actually quite a close one. I can't choose.
It's quite spread.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say Cam first, Salt second, Net Dutch third, because I think he's gonna.
As we are now currently looking at the race director, and it looks like Manzi's going to be starting on the ultras.
Wise man.
Whereas Orn and Kosher are staying on the hypers.
Not wise men.
Well, there could be a possibility that they might have good tyre management. Anyway, for my predictions of the top 3. I'd say Lovely Colt, UK Gingers, and Chill. I think he's got some speed in his tank.
I was gonna say
I think
chill, but I think he might be fourth.
I think the one to watch, I think, is Smithy.
Me, the one to watch is Raven. He gets a good start.
If Smithy tries to stay ahead of his rival of Chill, and hopefully keeps the slipstream with Lovely Colt and Cam, I think he might have a chance.
Yeah, but if Raven just plays it safe and stay behind chill and let get straight stream off him, he might actually go up into the top 5. So alright, keep an eye on Raven.
That is true.
Until the race
Let's not
starts.
forget that's the rivalry between Smithy and Chill has hotted up ever since I think it was the start of Austria. It's been reignited again after the after season 3 of GP2. So, you never know. Anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the rest of the grid are ready. So we're now onto the formation lap of the Russian Grand Prix. So the grid are as follows. Superb Cam will be is on pole, with Lovely Colt to round off the front row of the grid. Smithy are going to be started in P3 with UK Gingers in P4 to round up the second row of the grid. Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho and F1 Pal will round off the third row of the grid, with Dutch Nacho in 5th and Pal in 6th. Paraquix, with a very shocking qualifying, is going to be started in P7 alongside with Chill, who's currently in P8, with Raven in P9, just miraculously getting himself through. And going to be starting ahead of Discreetly, who's in P10. On Manzi, Smithy's teammate, will be starting in P11, and also onto the ultra soft tyres with Horn is going to be starting on the Hypers. And then AMG Kosher will start in P13 after very unfortunate, I think it was unfortunate timing at qualifying, as he didn't get enough time on the clock to get another run.
This is going to be entertaining for the first sector. Especially from the middle of the pack. If you get squashed out of the middle section, especially on turn 3 up to turn 4, that's going to be tough. Turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, one or two. One of them lost my numbers today.
It's going to be quite quite interesting.
I'm going to focus on Chill downwards, you just focus on upwards.
I gotcha. Yep. So as the rest of the grid is now going to be forming up, we're now moments away for the illustrious 5 red lights. So here we go. 5 red lights for GP2 for the Russian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go. It does actually look like that Superb Cam's actually got off to a beautiful start, gaining at least a few feet off of Lovely Colt, whereas Lovely Colt's going to be utilising the toe off of Superb Cam and tries to go onto the outside. Meanwhile, discreetly in Para, almost close to getting bag tyres and making 3 wide onto the approach of turn 3. Meanwhile, F1 Pal and Dutch Natural go 2 wide on the approach of turn 4. As the 2 Scuderia Ferraris has now lost position, and it looks like Discreetly's had a bit of a problem, has now dropped down to P13.
Chill and Ginger is actually battling for 6th, with Paraquix behind him. I guess everybody wants to get points this race today.
Meanwhile, Paraquix is going side by side. Off of Chill, is going to be on the outside and going round the outside on the 3rd sector, but then leads into the inside. But it looks like Chill's got a better run.
Oh, nearly got a tank stopper there, but caught it just in time.
Chill is still keeping Paraquix behind him. Paraquix is hoping to utilise the overtake off of Chill.
One dog looked like he was losing a bit of grip at the back there, and then he went into the wall.
We go 2 wide as Paraquix goes on the inside off of Chill. And Chill had nowhere to go. It is a very tricky corner to try and go for an overtake on the outside line. But now that does mean Chill is onto the inside, turn 3, now going onto the outside of turn 4, and keeps it to P7.
Yeah, a little bit of contact between him and Raven though. And say that. Going into turn 2.
Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho is closing the gap onto Smithy, who's losing a lot of ground off of Lovely Colt, now being 2.1 seconds.
But Colt is catching up to Cam. But will those hypersofts last until the first pit? The only pit, to be honest.
I don't know. As Raven gets the first 3-second time penalty after 2 laps.
Joe goes a bit wide on the exit there. Gains control.
Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho is still buying himself some time as Lovely Colt sets the fastest lap. 1:36.2.
It's a huge.
Now DRS is now enabled. As Lovely
It's...
Colt's going to be trying to go round the inside off of Superb Cam. I think there was some slight contact.
I think Dutch may. Oh no, I thought Dutch got
Oh, but it looks like Cam's having some problems now.
Oh, one
Look like his rear tyres have overheated.
What F1 pole there? I think he just lost it somewhere, I'm not sure.
Not only that, his ERS is now automatically gone, and Dutch Nacho's lost a position to UK Gingers. And
Yep,
Cam's
Cam's
gone.
done it.
And Gingers has lost it as well.
Oh, Cam retired.
Cam's just crashed out.
What a terrible race for him, so.
And the virtual safety car is now out.
This may give some people some good time into the pits if I was them. Especially for Gingers. Z needs to change that wing.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened to Cam now. The technical problems at Singapore and now tyre problems at Russia.
Oh, that he just went a little bit too fast on throttle and just lost the rear. But I didn't know because you had a better view of it. But the way he looked like the way he positioned himself, it looked like he just lost it on the rear.
Well, he started to lose the rear end of the car at turn 3. So it did actually look like that his rears were absolutely gone.
Yep.
As the virtual safety car is now officially ended, and DRS has now been re-enabled.
May I just say this, everybody but discreetly moved up
Oh yeah.
from that.
Speaking of discreetly, he's actually catching up to AMG Kosher, who is
Yep,
currently in P9.
I keep an eye on that. You keep an eye on Dutch and Smithy. Also keep an eye on Power and Chill. With Raven.
Power Raven Manzi.
Oh, it's like the...
Oh, it looks like Hall's gone!
I think that...
Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho
Mm,
getting the DRS off of Smithy. We do know how good Smithy is at defending. It does look like that Dutch could have an opportunity of going for the move.
I think he has.
What it looks like, oh, Smithy
A little bit
gets
contact
it
on
to
the
the
exit.
track very well, but Dutch has good traction on the next corner and takes
And he gets it.
P2.
Nice move from Dutch.
Good composure.
Yeah, really good composure. Raven on Power. Just having a little look. See what it is from literally from Chill down to Discreet. It's a big battle.
So we now go on to Para. You can see the speed difference between Chill, Pat and Para.
Yep,
As Parrot was looking to find a way to the inside, nowhere to be seen.
Mm. 5 laps in, we would have lost 2 people. And yet Cam was my first place. Guess I
Same.
Guess I gotta go somewhere else. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Ooh, Raven gone a little
Lovely
bit
Cole is
wide,
actually gone. He's gained
Okay.
5. He's now 5 seconds ahead of Dutch.
Yeah, well,
Meanwhile, there's a massive train with Powell, and Chill gets a little bit of a tag snap on the exit there. There's been some slight contact.
the thing is, Colt and Dutch are both on Hypersoft while Smithy's on Ultras. So those Hypers might be rolling out now.
I think those
Power's
Hypers will
got Chill.
start to wear out. Power's going to try and go for Chill. Now going to go onto the inside. He will get the traction.
Keep an eye on Raven. Keep an eye on Raven because he could make key like this.
Oh, but it looks like look at Para though with the traction. Confidence. Confidence that he has.
Yeah, Powell, F1 Powell UK, if you want to make a train, do not make it now. Because you got one.
And now Para's going to be going onto the charge off of F1 Powell as Lovely Colt gets a 3-second time penalty. And now Para goes onto the inside on turn 2 and makes it stick and takes P4.
Yeah, now we've got a good battle there between Smithy and Para. This should be entertaining.
Meanwhile,
Smithy nearly
Manzi.
lost it. Smithy nearly lost it on the exit of turn 4.
Oh, and F1 Powell super wide on the exit of turn 4. As Chill goes onto the inside of Powell on turn 5.
Ooh.
There's been some contact between Raven and Chill.
Yeah, I think Raven just went up the rear of Chill.
I think Raven. It did look like that Raven had such good traction.
Yeah, but just too much traction because it just went under Chill.
Just kind of overwhelmed him a little bit there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Paraquix has actually gone onto the charge of Smithy, going side by side, and now completes the move.
That is
That
Ferrari
takes P3.
power at its best. That is definitely Ferrari power at its best.
Meanwhile, F1 Power is actually is struggling by quite a significant amount, and he's got front wing damage.
Here he does. He might have to go into the pits, but I think Chill definitely may have to go to the pits. Because these dudes in downforce and fast.
Both of them have to go into the pits, and Smithy has now pulled the trigger and got into the pits.
Is it a bit too soon?
Well, they did say that it did look like he was struggling on them ultras, and it does look like he's going to be going on the softs. Meanwhile, AMG Kosher.
Okay, I guess my game's one thing. Right.
As Manzi and Gingers gets a 3-second time penalty. So far, the main person that's made the most positions is Kosher, but Para though, rather a very poor qualifying from starting at P7 is now into P3, and his teammate discreetly is into P4.
That's Ferrari power and consistency.
The thing is though is that the top 4 are on hypers.
Yeah, and the only one that isn't is Manzi, and if those hypers will win 6 laps.
But it does look like that Manzi's going to get overtaken by Kosher. As
He's
Kosher goes
also
onto
on
the
hypers.
inside line. He's now on hypers, and now it's a 5. The top 5 hyper softs.
Yeah.
As Kosher goes super wide.
Yeah, those hypers are gone. If he's gone that wide, those hypers are gone. No, Kosher doesn't want to
He's
hit.
staying out.
Bit risky, to be honest, if you're losing grip around that corner. Well, at least he's got the RMS now, but he's got to be careful where to use it.
Well, we get DRS is now going onto the right, on the right side of Manzi, going too wide. But it looks like the outright speed off of the McLaren Renault seems to have bested Manzi. But Manzi's not backing down. And he's utilising the toe of turn 3.
Wonderful around that corner.
So far at the moment, biggest loser is Gingers, who started in P4 and is now into P10.
Yeah, and the biggest winner is Kosher. You started from last,
the winners in the specific team is Ferrari. Smithy gets a 3-second time penalty now.
In total, Ferrari's gone up by 10 places. That's in total.
Whilst whilst the McLaren team made up 11. 3 for Dutch and 8 for Kosher.
All power's going to the pits. So, my question
a 5-second stop, go!
Discreetly stayed out. I got attacked by a cat because it was stretching its leg.
I think that would be sound clipped.
And I will just
attacked by a cat scratching its leg.
It says stretching its leg. Oh, that's on
scratching.
I don't care if it's on stream. Clip it, post it.
Raven sets the fastest lap off of 1:35.7.
Oh wait, this is going on YouTube. Oh well.
It's chill. Takes the fastest lap off of Raven with a 1:35.3.
My question is how those ultra soft 4.
Yes, I think at some recent tests, it's easily you can take it up to like 16 to 17 laps.
No, ultra softs, hypersofts.
Hypersofts, I'd say at best 9 to 10.
Well, they're on lap 9 now. So
I think normally the tide deck tends to kick in at like the lap 8 mark.
This really
goes into the pits.
And Deutsch stays out and so does Colt.
It's also the same with Manzi.
Smithy on
Smithy, who's not the only one on the softs. Pal and Gingers are on the softs.
Oh, I didn't see them. Never mind.
Whereas Chill is actually on the ultras. He's catching up to Gingers and Pal.
I realised Scree's on the ultras.
He's suffering a lot of understeer.
This is going to be. I said it's going to be a close battle between now and the Ferraris because they're both on the ultras.
This is when the charge will then kick in. In my opinion.
But they don't want to charge too much because they might take each other out.
That's true.
That's why if I was them all work together and work way up.
So we see Chill on a faster compound and Gingers and Pal. He needs to try and overtake them as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Discreetly is actually losing a lot of time off of Para. Whereas Raven's actually slowly catching up.
Yeah. Discreetly's getting dirty off. Getting coughed down my throat now. Coughed down my throat. Good English.
Here we see Chill. It's got DRS. You can see the difference of the tyre as Chill goes round the outside and then on the inside.
Nice.
And that's a beautiful move from Chill there. He's now taking P10. Will he be able to make it into P9? Parry gets the fastest lap of a 1:35.1. Gingers gets another 3-second time penalty. Now Discreetly gets a 3-second time penalty now.
It's an easy track to get time penalties.
Ooh, Chill breaks super late. And is now on the back foot as Gingers now goes round the inside. Off of Chill into turn 3. And now going on to turn 4. Chill will stay close onto him. But Gingers has now made it stick. After a beautifully well thought move at turn 3. It did look like that Chill was on the back foot due to the fact that he had broke himself. Meanwhile, Raven is closing that gap onto Discreetly.
He's got him.
Dutch gets a 5-second stop go.
Raven got him.
Raven has now jumped up to P7. Meanwhile, Chill is now going for the second bite of the cherry off of Gingers and now makes the move stick before the start of the corner. He's now going to try and go for Pal once, one more time. Oh, it looks like F1 Pal has actually had a little bit of a commotion. This is a battle for 10th.
There's a big
looks
battle
like
for
Chill.
7th. There's battles everywhere.
Look at the speed that Chill's using. As he now braked perfectly onto turn 2. And has now jumped up into P9 as F1 Pal has had contact off of Gingers. Meanwhile, Gingers has actually gone round the outside of Pal onto turn 3.
What's up, dogs?
MG Kosher has actually made up 11 places, with Manzi he's made up 8. Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho's on the firing line off of Smithy, going very close onto Smithy's right side. Is now going to be utilising the inside line off of Smithy. Brakes super hard and makes it stick to take a P4. Meanwhile, Paraquix is now also in the firing line off of Smithy as well. Kosher gets a 5-second stop go now. Now Manzi's now gone into the pits as well. Oh, there's been some contact between him and Para. Between him and Smithy. Now Para's not going to let Smithy through. That's very good sportsmanship from Para there. As Dutch now jumps into P2. Lovely Colt has actually stayed out and is now a full pit length ahead. So now the train for third place is now starting to rise with the 2 Ferraris.
And a Renault inside.
1 in 3rd and 1 in 5th, and then we have a Renault thoroughly in the middle. Smithy does have DRS off of Discreetly, but it looks like it's not going to favour him as much. Para gets very cautious. Meanwhile, Manzi has actually is now onto the Hypersofts. Trying to close the gap onto Chill. So we're now on to lap 14. And it looks like Para's got very good traction on the last corner. It actually looked like that caught Smithy napping a little bit, going too wide. But it looks like the job has been done. And the tap for the task at hand, and Paris now jumps to P4. Meanwhile, AMG Kosher overtakes Gingers. Now Dutch Nacho is starting to reel in Lovely Colt ever so slightly. As Lovely Colt has now gone into the pits.
Manzi and Chill.
Here we see old Manzi. Chill's got to be still sticking onto the inside line, and has now made that second part of the corner his own as well. As Dutch Nacho now takes the lead of Lovely Colt. The Lovely Colt will be on them ultras for 12 laps, as Raven now blasts his way through. Now jumps up onto P5. Oh, and Manzi gets a 3-second time penalty. Chill now goes onto the inside of turn 3. But Manzi will have the inside of turn 4. Great wheel-to-wheel racing from the two drivers. And Manzi's now got the inside line on turn 5 as well. Now Lovely Colt is now on the attack on Dutch. Meanwhile, Paraquix is still behind his teammate, well, discreetly. But it looks like he's costing him a lot of time. We're now on to lap 16. Lovely Colt is now planning on going for a move. Almost touched the wall, but Dutch defends super well. Now Para's jumped up onto P3, and Smithy now jumps up back into P5. So here we see Lovely Colt with a good aerial shot view with him and Dutch. Meanwhile, AMG Kosher has overtook Chill. Oh, Colt was trying to go for a move. I wasn't even there. Meanwhile, Raven and Smithy are still going end to end for the battle for 5th. Now Lovely Colt now takes the lead. Despite the controversy between the two, Meanwhile, Smithy is going to be going for the move onto Raven. Raven gets a 3-second time penalty. But Smithy has got the ideal line of turn 3. Now jumps back into P5 again. As UK Gingers gets the fastest lap. 1:35.158. As Raven is going to be going on to the inside of the third sector and then have the outside. But the confidence has made it stick. Takes 5th again. Meanwhile, Dutch is going to be going back into the pits due to the controversy between them two. While Raven's got a little bit on the grass at the exit of that last corner. Now he's on the back foot again. Smithy now opens the floodgates on with the DRS and takes P4. Gingers gets another fastest lap of 1:34, and now Colt's got another 3-second time penalty. He is pushing his car to the absolute limit. As Raven
Nice.
with a beautiful move on Smithy again to get P4.
Was just spectating them as well. God. I recorded that and put that in the combination. The rest of the take.
Now Smithy will be on the charge once again.
Nice.
Just using the speed of that Renault power. Now Smithy goes back into P4.
The thing is with these two, they're just battling out. Raven gets him on DRS setting on the second, Smithy gets him on the third. So it's just battle.
I think I might got one more name on the list of who to get driver of the day.
Yeah.
Chill gets a 3-second time penalty. Chill isn't actually having a very good performance. Even though last season he had a fantastic performance. See at GP2 as Raven goes for another spectacular move on Smithy again.
I'm definitely recording that one. That one. Not as good as the first one.
Oh, but look, the traction that Smithy's got. Now Raven goes into the pits now. So we're now on to lap 20 of 27. Oh, Manzi gets another 3-second time penalty. To be completely honest, I think Smith has had another strong race. With 2 strong races on the trot. And not only that, he's on a much harder compound. And he's in 4th.
Yeah, and he has those ones for 30.
It's like, I think, despite him being on a harder compound than Raven, he shows that it's possible. So to be completely honest, I think I've already made my decision. I think.
I think I've got someone else in mind as...
Raven now catches up to Dutch Nacho now. Both of them are on the Hypersofts. As Raven now unleashes the current Ferrari engine and goes with a little bit of a slide for a bit of a show off and takes P7.
Well, let's just say he literally did what he did to Smithy.
I think I would say that Raven's one is the one moving up there. But the only thing that's kind of dragging him down a little bit is obviously the time penalties that he's accumulating. And we know that Russia, their stringency is very strict. Raven now crashes out. Ooh, how did he crash there?
Oof. Wait.
And Ginchers is now gone.
Was that intentional or was that...
Well, because he didn't see the car. He had plenty of time.
Yeah, you had plenty of time, but if he was following the racing line, then... unlucky, but...
Oh, but that was minimap was not on full.
Yeah.
Lovely Colt now starts lap 23 of 27. He still holds the lead with Paraquix in second, only being 4.4 seconds separated, has made up 5 positions. Meanwhile, discreetly's Paraquix's compatriot is in P3, made up 7 places.
The thing is, you're saying Smithy might get it, but I think discreetly may also probably get driver of the day.
Oh, Smith has got a 3-second time penalty. I think if Smithy keeps fourth, then we'll give it to him. If not, we'll give it to Discreetly.
Yeah, but on power. And if he keeps the pace he's going, I think he might.
It does have a 5-second stop go, whereas Lovely Colt's got 2 3-second time penalties.
Yeah, and he's keeping it under seconds.
But it does look like Colt might edge it. Only just. Joe gets a 3-second time penalty as well. And it looks like F1 Pal's actually having some issues. His rears are just gone again. It's the same with what Cam had. His rears are gone. So I think what we'll do is that we'll wait till the end of the race and we'll find out. As Paraquix has now dropped back now, as they've now lost 1.6 seconds to Lovely Colt.
That'll be Paul.
There's Pal. I think Pal's rears are gone. I think his rear tyres are just dead.
Continue and thousand. Head into the pits because you're going to be 9-10 where you're getting 2 points. So.
Yeah, that's true. He did seem to be quite confident last week for Russia, as just naturally now closing the gap onto Almanzi now. As Lovely Colt is now on to lap 25. So now go back onto Dutch. Oh, it looks like Manzi got on a little bit on the grass.
We just got him.
Now overtakes Manzi.
Oh, bit of contact.
But it looks like Manzi's going to be following suit and going round the outside of the Dutch Nacho. It looks like Dutch Nacho's got the inside line under lock and key. Has now secured it. Lovely Colt's now starting his second to last lap. Meanwhile, Smithy is slowly gaining on Discreetly. Discreetly's actually losing a lot of time off of his teammate.
Does it mean what is with the gaining time?
Yeah, it does look like it because he's now gained half a second. He's gained half a second off of Discreetly. Discreetly's got an issue.
think it might be maybe gearbox issue.
It's either that or his tyres are just kind of falling off. As Smithy was actually trying to wrestle the car. So even him is having some tyre troubles.
He needs to not push the car too much.
No, he just needs to try and feed the throttle as best as possible. So his lovely Colt now goes on to the last two corners to start on his final lap of the Russian Grand Prix. And this is when we'll have a nice short little segment for next week for GP2, which is the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka.
That first sector is going to be hell. If you get it working.
I think if you get the first part of the S's wrong, you get all of them wrong. Just throws off your rhythm.
If you get one S wrong and the other one right, you're pretty much screwed as well.
As Smithy now on to turn 4. It's now gained discreetly. It's now on to 1.6 seconds. It's lovely Colt from a very good strong drive. Didn't even have any issues, really.
Yeah.
It was quite unfortunate that Cam crashed out and spun. Shows that his tyres were just gone. It's chill. Overtakes Manzi. But it does look like the lovely Colt will once again take the win for the Russian Grand Prix. As Para takes second.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting.
This is where, yeah, it gets a little bit more interesting. Smithy stays in 4th.
No stroke in them.
Very good drive from him.
Yeah, I'd probably say give it to Smithy for.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll definitely say give it to Smithy, I think.
Yeah.
It's just the battling that he had with him and Raven was incredible.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna let you do the question.
Lovely Colt doesn't have a mic. So if you want, message Lovely Colt and then we'll do Para and then discreetly.
Yeah, I'll still let you do the other two.
So there we have it for the Russian Grand Prix. Lovely Colt's doing a very good strong job for the Toro Rosso Honda. I think he'll be very happy with the performance that he has. And also a very good performance from the Scarlet Red Ferrari team, taking 2nd and 3rd. But Smithy though, a very good strong drive to take P4. So there we have it for the Russian Grand Prix. Lovely Colts, once again from starting in P2, will gets pole, will take the 25 points to the Red Bull Toro Rosso team. Paraquix in 2nd, from starting in 7th, will take 18 points, whereas his teammate discreetly from starting in 10th will take 15 points. Smithy in 4th for the Renault team will take the 12 points, and I think he would be very happy with the performance that he had, especially with the battle that has been going through between him and Raven. AMG Kosher from starting in P13 takes 5th. Again, shows a very good strong performance from the McLaren Renault team, as the same with Dutch Nacho, even though he's lost a place. But he takes P6 and takes 8 points. Chill might be a little bit disappointed from starting in 8th, but he'll be very happy to take in 7th, which takes 6 points. But very, very unfortunate for the other 4 drivers that were unfortunately crashed out. So we do have some of the drivers. Well, we do have all of our top 3 drivers here with us. We obviously know, lovely Court, that you do not have. I don't think you have a mic with us. So just message us on how your race went, and we'll go straight on to Paraquakes from start. And I have to say,
Colt
from
has a
starting
mic.
P7, I think. Yeah, I know.
I think he has.
I know that lovely Court. I think I kind of know that lovely Court doesn't have a mic. Well, I think he does, but I don't know. Oh, I think he does. Yep, he's here. So we'll start the interview off with a lovely Colt. If you can hear us, mate, a huge congratulations on you in the win for the Russian Grand Prix. I think you must be extremely happy. And I think you was actually looking forward with the battle between you and Cam.
Yeah, but he crashed out. Unfortunate.
It was very, very unfortunate from Cam. It did actually look like he had some, I think it was tyre temp problems.
Yeah, because when
It was starting to kick in at lap 6.
I did pass him, he was like.
But it did appear that you, when it was at the pit stops, Dutch Natcher did kind of jump you a little bit, but you held your ground and your composure. Even though there was some slight taps between the two of you on the DRS straight towards the 3rd sector.
It was irritating, he squeezed me into the wall and we've got wing damage.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate from you there, but anyway, congratulations on you for winning the Russian Grand Prix. I think one last question is that next week is the Japanese Grand Prix. Any thoughts on what do you think it will be, or how the race will pan out?
Probably a podium.
Anyway, congratulations on your lovely Colt for winning the Russian Grand Prix again. So we'll now go on to P2 of Paraquicks. I don't know what to say. From P7 in qualifying, I think that wasn't your best performance.
Yeah, for some reason, qualifying on tracks with a lot of straights, I just do not like them. I just always start at the back, sort of. So I'm not sure what it is, but kind of disappointed with that qualifying. I did invalidate my last lap in Q3, so I was like 5/10 up on that.
We did notice that when you crossed the line, I think you improved by 4/10.
Yeah.
And that could have got you into P4, P3.
Yeah.
So that must be, I think you must be extremely gutted that it was invalidated.
Yeah, it was like a tiny bit off track. It's just kind of annoying, but doesn't really matter.
In the race, it kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of got lucky that Cam crashed out and with Dutch, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, I had a pretty decent start. I didn't gain any positions, but I managed to catch up, and I was having a long battle with Chill, and he kind of ruined my tires. So the hypers weren't good anyway. So I had to switch in lap 8 to the ultras already. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it to the end. So I just tried to keep my pace at a level.
Yeah. I think there was at one point that you was behind a train as well. I think it was in the halfway point of the race.
Yeah, with Smitty. After my
Yep,
my
once
pit
again.
stop. Yeah, once again, but it was a nice fight. But my pit stop, I got a penalty for corner cutting, a 5-second stop and go when you go into the pits.
Yeah.
It is a glitch, so I kind of got fucked over by that. So I don't know what happened then. Maybe if I didn't get that penalty, I would have been fighting with Colts until the end. But you never know. It's what ifs. So
Yeah, it is what it is. But as always, I've obviously known what Lovely Colt's thoughts of the Japanese Grand Prix. Question is now to you: is also what is your thoughts of the Japanese Grand Prix, and do you think it could be an even more competitive for your standards, or do you think it might be a little bit more different?
it has a lot of corners, so I'm quite good at tracks with a lot of corners. So. But I think in dry, I will have a good chance be fighting for the first place. But I think in wet, I won't. Yeah, I will still get a chance, but less in dry.
Yeah. But anyway, congratulations on you, Para, for taking P2 for the Scuderia Ferrari team. As we now go on to P3 with another Scuderia Ferrari team of Discreetly, from starting in P10, which we actually got. We was a bit confused on what's happened there at when you retired from the session in P10 Discreetly. We have no idea what happened. So, any ideas?
Was that in Q3? Yeah, when I retired.
Yes.
Yeah, I was coming on the back straight at the end of the second sector, that awkward corner. I was on my out lap. I was just trying not to take too much out of the tires. I overshot the braking zone and just went straight into the wall, and then that was it. Game over.
Wow.
But I had to put it behind me and just focus on the race, focus on capitalizing on other people's mistakes, and it worked out. So happy with that.
It did actually work out for you quite well. And again, obviously with Para being very unfortunate with Cam, and then it was also with UK Gingers getting. I think he was the one that got collected with Cam, unfortunately at lap 7. It just seems like to be a little bit more open for you, and not only that, I think you as well was in the middle of the train at some point.
Yeah, the start, I got a good start. I jumped to position, but everyone was slipstreaming, so I just decided to tuck in just in case there was an incident in turn 1. But as I was coming up to the end of sector 1, I got a screen freeze, and then I jumped from like 7th to 12th because I undercut everyone on the long left-hander. So I got a screen freeze. I went from 7th to like 12th, and then the virtual safety car came out. So I was just biding my time. Hopefully, I was hoping that everyone's tires would like begin to like overheat or whatever, and I'll be able to capitalize on that. Which kind of did happen, but then I capitalized on the retirements and people trying to dodge the incidents. So I just managed to like sneak my way through that and uninterrupted race really.
Yeah, you actually did very, very well until the race at hand, and it also did appear that your pit strategy was also on point as well.
Yeah, I think I pitted on lap 10. Para gave me faith that I'll be able to go to the end. Then I overtook Smithy because I think he had an incident, and then I decided to let Para back through because he's fighting the championship. He's ahead of me in the championship, so I thought I could hold Smithy off if he ever does like catch up because he was on the softs. He was unable to do so, and I kept P3, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Well done for you to get P3. Also with the same question that I said, Paras, that next week is the Japanese Grand Prix. So also what are your thoughts on the Japanese Grand Prix, the task at hand, and do you think the strategy could be the same as this week's at Russia, or do you think it'll be a little bit more different and there might be some weather conditions that might come to play?
I think it'll be a wet race, which I'm not looking forward to. Hopefully, I'll be up more in the midfield in qualifying instead of at the back.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations on you discreetly on getting P3 and also getting some more valuable points for the Scuderia Ferrari team. And I think that jumps the constructors even more now for favouring onto the Scarlet Red Ferrari. As we now go on to the driver of the day, there was quite a few battles going on. I think there was one with AMG Kosher and Manzi. There was also one with Smithy, Para, Raven, and I think Pal at one point. And then I think there was also one with Para, Dutch, and I think Smithy as well. But the one battle that we were very surprised by was the battle between Smithy and Raven. Like almost end to end. From the both of them, with Smithy overtaking Raven at turn 2, then Raven overtaking at the start of the third sector, then rinse and repeat. So to be quite honest, we had no other choice. Well, there was some valuable choices, but we went on to the lean part. Well, we went on a bit of a lean, and we decided to give it to Smithy from just basically getting a strong performance from starting into P3. Even though he's only lost one place, his battling was just endless. He was constantly there almost the entirety of the race.
Yeah, at one
So,
point, me and Smitty had a little bit of an incident as well, but I let him back.
Yeah,
through.
we did. It was actually caught on stream, but it did. You did give him the position back, which huge respect from you. But I don't think there won't be any repercussions from that, in my opinion. But anyway, congratulations to Smithy for getting driver of the day for the Russian Grand Prix, and I think that'll be it for tonight. Tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock for GP1 for the Russian Grand Prix. Meanwhile, for GP2, stay tuned for next week for the Japanese Grand Prix. Can Lovely Colt increase the win tally by getting another win under his belt, or will the Scuderia Ferrari team try and upset the fellow Toro Rosso Honda team? Or will Chill be able to try and gain back the points deficit from Smithy, or can Smithy get even more closer to the rest of the pack? We will be able to find out next week for GP2. This has been Itsville 17 here at the Russian Grand Prix, and we'll be seeing you soon for GP2 for round 17 for the Japanese Grand Prix. This has been Itsville